Hello and welcome to Saki Tech. So in today's video, I will show you guys 5 extremely useful features for the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, which truly enhance the use of this exceptional smartphone. So let's dive right in. Number 1. As you know, Samsung Galaxy Note 3 is a titan. It's a huge phone. It's hard to use this phone with one hand due to its sheer size sometimes. Now luckily there are some really useful and practical features to be able to use this phone with one hand. The first one is the capability to change the size of your keyboard. So let's just go to Chrome and let's pull up the keyboard. So this is a huge keyboard. It's nice to type with it, but once you're holding this phone with one hand, it's going to be hard because look at how my thumb is limited in operation. I cannot reach the O's, the P's, the L's, and unless you have huge and long fingers, it's not going to work. Luckily though, there is a feature in here that allows you to change the size of the keyboard so you can in fact type with your thumb only. So let's take a look at how to access that. At the bottom here there's a button. Okay, you tap and hold this button right next to SIM right here, and you get a pop-up. From this pop-up on the right side you can tap it, and then you'll get an option to change the size and layout of your keyboard. The one I'm talking about is the one-handed operation keyboard. Tap it, boom. So your keyboard is now small and it's left justified. You can also right justified if you want to. So let's left justify this. Now let me show you how easy it is to type. Typing becomes easy. Okay? So this is a perfect little feature that allows you to type using your thumb only. Alrighty, and if you want to go back, you tap on that. Oops. If you want to go back to the full keyboard, you tap and hold the same option button. Choose keyboard from the pop-up and click normal. And then you get the full-sized keyboard. So that's the number 1 feature. So let me ask you a question. Is anything else too big for you other than the keyboard? Maybe the whole screen? What you can do is you can activate the one-handed mode. So you can scale the entire screen of your phone to whatever size you desire. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go to Settings. You want to go to Controls. And down here you'll see an option called One-Handed Operation. If you tap this option, you get a full list of features. The first one here says Use for all screens. Just click that, make sure it's checked, and what happens is now you can adjust anything on this phone to any size that you want. Let me demonstrate. So go out, and let's say you're holding the phone with your one hand and you just can't reach the corners here. What you do is you do a little V. It's going to be a horizontal V, and now your whole screen is resized. And that's not all. Not only is it resized, you can move this guy around. Tap this. Well, let me show it again. There you go. So you can actually resize this. Okay, if it's too big for you, you can get it smaller, and then you can move it around. Like I said, I don't know why it's not moving around right now. There we go. Okay, so press and hold and move it where you want. So now you have a tiny little screen and you can do pretty much anything you want with one little thumb. Okay, and if you want to go back to the normal size, you tap this square button on the top. Alrighty, and remember, you have to go to Settings, Controls, One-Handed Operation, and you just click this box and then you have that ability. Feature number 3. If you detach your S Pen from your phone and you put it on the table like this, it is a possibility that when you leave, you will grab your phone, but you'll forget your S Pen behind. Okay, that can happen to even the most attentive people. And trust me, you don't want to lose your S Pen. It's replaceable, but why pay the $30? Now, luckily, the Note 3 has an option where your phone sounds an alert if you walk away from your phone without attaching the S Pen back in its little hole. Okay, so to activate this feature, you go to Settings. Okay, you go to Controls one more time, and you go to S Pen. And here, what you want to do is you want to make sure S Pen Keeper is ticked. As long as this is ticked, let's say I grab this phone and walk away, and let's say I go down like for 14 or 15 steps, I am going to get an alert on my screen saying that the S Pen is in fact detached, so I can come and grab it so I don't forget this. So this is a very, very useful feature for forgetful people. But like I said, even the most attentive people sometimes forget stuff. Okay, feature number 4, multitasking. It's a great aspect of the Note 3, and there are several ways to multitask on your phone. Now the first one is using your S Pen. Okay, so basically you know that you have a little button right here on the S Pen. If you hover on the screen, you get the Air command. From the Air command, you have this little pen window where you can draw and pick an app that fits in the window that you just drew. So this is a multitasking action. You can take this, you can float this about, and you can actually minimize this. When you minimize it, it becomes a tiny little icon on the screen. You can put it on the side, and let's say you're going online, okay? And then let's say you're on a website, you have to do a quick calculation. You can bring your calculator up, do your calculation. Okay, so that's what you need. You minimize this on the side, put it aside, and continue whatever you were doing on the website here. Okay, so that is a perfect little way to multitask, and when you're done, you can close this, go back out. Now the next way to multitask is using the multi-window feature. So if you put your menu down, you will have a multi-window feature. It might be on this side for you. I moved mine over here. So if you enable this, you'll see when you go home, you'll see a tiny little arrow pointing outside. If you tap it, you can now multitask between all these applications. So let's go to Play Store, and then let's go to Chrome. Okay, so as you can see, I have the Chrome at the bottom here, all by itself, and then I have Google Play Store right here. And I can resize this if I want to. Okay, so there's a circle in the middle here. You tap that circle and you can resize. Alrighty, and you can actually get rid of these things. If you tap it, you get the options. You can exit out by tapping X. Now you're back in Chrome. But then again, if you want to add anything here, let's say you want to add YouTube, drag and drop. Okay, there's my YouTube right there, and I can use YouTube as if it was nothing. So I can multitask while I'm watching a video, no problem. Alrighty, and then like I said, you tap this, you can switch them around, but you can just exit them when you don't need it. So those are the two ways to multitask: using your S Pen, okay, by drawing a window on the screen through the Air command options, or using the multi-window multitasking option. And again, if you scroll here, there's the option to turn this on or off. Now the final feature I want to go over is the LED light that is up here on the Samsung Note. So if you go to Settings, okay, and if you go to Device, there's an option here called LED Indicator. So you can pretty much customize when you want this thing to flash at you. So if you have a low battery, it's going to blink red. If you're charging your device, it's going to be red until it is charged. If you get a notification, the blue LED just blinks at you like an email or a text message or a phone call. And if you're doing a voice recording using the voice recorder app, you can actually have a blue LED continually on if the screen is off. Okay, so if your screen is off just like this and you're recording, the LED light is going to remain on to indicate that you're in fact recording. So these are the features that give you some power over how you want your LED to alert you to certain things. So that's feature number 5 I wanted to talk about. Alright, and that brings us to the end of all the features that I wanted to talk about today. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Know643 Tech. Like the video if it helped you out by giving it a thumbs up, and have a great day.